Hello and welcome to PSCN. I'm your host, Nick Geoghegan.
And I'm Brittany Weinstock, and we have the latest result from the Supreme Court Smackdown.
That's right, Brittany. Today we've got 32 of the most famous long-standing court cases in American history lined up today in our competition. Lots of famous cases in the building tonight, eh, Brittany?
Yeah, let's take a look at that bracket now.
So we had our judicial experts seed these 32 bad boys into 4 separate categories.
Constitutional powers, civil rights, Bill of Rights, and political process.
Bring out the cases, Johnny.
All right. Already I'm seeing some trouble brewing over in the Constitution region, with Texas versus Johnson and Engel versus Vitale, 2 incredible moments for free speech.
And let's not ignore the 2 New York Times cases seated together over in the Bill of Rights region.
Not to mention a big fight storming up in political process with not just 1, but 2 potential upsets, with Buckley and Citizens United right next to Nixon and Bush.
I can't wait, Brittany. Let's take a look at the results now. Light her up, Johnny. Whoa!
Right off the bat, Marbury knocks Gibbons out of the game! A possible upset for those seeking control of commerce in the Congress.
I'm looking at you, Teddy Roosevelt. And what's this? Miranda gets knocked out of the park by Tinker. I bet fans of the 1967 classic case won't be exercising their right to remain silent tonight, am I right, Brittany?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, not to mention, Gideon v. Wainwright has just taken over Schenck. And I know that Gideon is a case that cannot afford to lose tonight.
You know, it's no surprise that Brown versus Board of Education knocks down Plessy yet again in this first round.
You know, Brittany, Plessy stands among Dred Scott and Korematsu for the title of most controversial player.
I'm sure nobody is too shocked to see all 3 get knocked out as we start our first Smackdown.
Let's not forget the trouble churning up over in the political process corner, where we are looking at Citizens United v. Nixon.
Looks like Bush can take Gore, but can't stand up to Tricky Dick, eh?
What a round!
I think we may be ready for our second round, don't you think?
I think so. I'm keeping a close eye on Brown and Loving up in the top corner over there, or as I refer to them, the appropriately named cases.
You know, it's gonna take more than clever wordplay as we go into round 2!
Bring him out, Johnny boy! Whoa!
I don't believe it! You know what could prove to be another upset? DC versus Heller takes down Sullivan with what essentially amounts to be the second surpassing the first.
That fight ain't over yet, Brittany, because we've got Heller standing against Tinker for round number 3. And while the second may have surpassed the first over in the Bill of Rights region, don't forget we also have Texas v. Johnson ending the run for US v. Lopez.
Fans of John Marshall shouldn't be surprised to see Marbury overtake McCulloch.
I'm sure Jackson would appreciate that one. Now, Brittany, I can't help but notice that Griswold just knocked Roe v. Wade out of the park, which is a decision I'm sure many will find quite controversial. But keep in mind that Roe v. Wade only exists because of the precedent set by Griswold v. Connecticut.
Same goes for Brown overtaking Loving, just as Loving overtook Obergefell versus Hodges.
I'm sure supporters of that case aren't loving this result.
What? Down to the Elite 8, and this is sure to be quite a fight.
You know what to do, Johnny. Oh! I don't believe it, folks. Citizens United has just knocked Shelby out of the running. What an upset.
But don't forget, while Shelby may have restricted voting rights in the South, Citizens United continues to be just as controversial as it was back in 2010.
And in lieu of Senator McCain's tragic death last August, it's only fitting that a part of him, the McCain-Feingold Act, be left to live on in his place.
Oof, our other winners with no real surprises are Marbury versus Madison, Tinker versus Bingham, and Brown versus Board of Education, all fitting representatives for their respective categories.
I can't believe it, Brittany, but with Shelby out of the running, little will stop Brown from taking the coveted final spot in the final competition.
You know what? I think it's time to bring on round 4.
Let's do it, Johnny. Yeah, that figures.
Yeah, no surprises there.
Yep, makes sense to me.
Where did you come from? I don't think it's all that surprising that 2 of the most important court cases in all of American history are our 2 final competitors for this year's SCOTUS of the Year award.
Who will it be? Marbury's legendary precedent for judicial review, or Earl Warren's seminal stand against Southern segregation.
Well, personally, I was hoping the Brandenburg v. Ohio would win, but that wasn't even seeded, so I'd say all bets are off.
Let's see who wins this year's grand prize!
I don't believe it, folks. Marbury v. Madison takes the prize for the 216th consecutive year in a row.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, could have seen this one coming.
What a spectacle we have witnessed here tonight, folks.
Well, to be fair, Nick, I mean, it is the court case that set all the precedent for all the other court cases. Ever.
Yes, I'd say if it was anything but Marbury v. Madison, everyone would cry.
That's all we have time for, folks. This has been PSEN. I'm your host, Brittany Weinstock.
And I'm Nick Geoghegan, and this concludes our coverage of the 216th SCOTUS of the Year Awards.
Please join us next time when we talk about President Kathy Scott.